Hello everyone, it's the Alchemical Crafter here. Today I think I'm going to try to make my own little personal specimen cards, field label cards, things like that. This is all I have left, and I've been using them up in my little miniature journal that I've been creating. And I'm probably going to buy a new pack, but I just want to see if I can make some of my own miscellaneous little things like that with my stamps. And these are stronger material than just paper. So I went to my cardstock that I buy in these little packets here. I've got, and I pulled some from these two different packets. This one, because they're very light neutrals. And there were just a couple in this one that I pulled from. So I'm gonna put these aside, because I got those at put them down here. Got those at like a local store, so I don't even, a long time ago, so I don't know if you can get them anymore. Man, I can't talk. But I'm gonna go through these. I just got this one because it was very neutral, but it does have a little bit of writing over here. I don't know if you can see. And I was thinking the top half of this, that's very neutral. And every single bit of this will work. So I'm definitely probably going to start with this one. Actually, I may start with not that one so I can practice and then move on to that one. This is a very neutral one. I may start with this one because it has writing in the background, but not as pronounced as this one. So I'll probably start with this one. This one's a little darker. And here's another one that has, sorry for moving the camera, that has some writing on it. Not this side, but I would probably use all this. And this, not that I would use it for the stamps, but it's got a lot of little stuff in it that I could use. It's got a little writing, and I could like maybe create a stamp around that stuff. Oh no, I'm going to experiment. I've never done this before, so. And then this just full on plain Jane, just to start from scratch. So I'm going to grab this one, and we'll see what we can do. And I went through all of my stamps that I could find. Actually, I didn't go through all my stamps. Give me 1 second. I'm going to check my other set real quick. Okay, so I got this recently. I think I got this probably at Joann's or someplace when they were all going out of business or whatever. Let's go through my stamps. I've got these, which these I think would definitely be good. We've got the numbers, and we got this right here. I think all of that would be very good. And the only thing I was thinking about this was that kind of looks like a barcode. I mean, it could be made to look like a barcode. And these are the smallest letters I have. So I think I'm going to have to do some handwriting. Oh dear. Just different lines. I don't know that I'll use those, but I thought options. And this is for the more whimsical, because they wouldn't look serious with all the sewing on them, but I have options. You can't even see these because they're so dark, but this is a whole bunch of different types of writing. I love these stamps. I use them all the time. That's why they're so used. That's for something different. This I got recently. This would definitely be useful. And I've used that before. Just any of this stuff could be made to look very official. Like, the only thing I pulled this for, you can't even see them, but there's a label, and then this right here, there, I'll pull the stamp off, you can see it, that looks very official, so I'll definitely be using that and this. More writing, I got that one recently, and this is like newspaper, but I'm not going to get anything that's even remotely like these, but just something to look like she's, like, something's being written down. So I'm going to start I'm going to start with the ones that are just like this stuff. And then I can put the stuff over it. I think I'm just going to grab a big one for that. And I hope you can see everything. Actually, let's start at the top. This is all of them cut out, and I kind of like them. A lot of them was just probably going to be, well, that's usually what these things are used for, is just little background pieces. My favorites are the smaller ones, so I think I'm going to probably make a whole lot more of these smaller ones. But also, I absolutely love this stamp. The edge on that one. I need to find out if my sewing machine can do that. But if it was just a little smaller, I can make it look like a postcard, like a postage stamp. But even at that, it could be an oversized one. But I think they all have potential. This one was basically the window. I thought I would just try it, and I'm glad I just did the one, because it really doesn't have the same vibe as the rest of these do. And I think I can come in later and put some writing on them or something with the labels and stuff. And but yeah, this one I'm not very happy with. So you really, as far as the borders go, you have to be really careful, because I couldn't cut these out close, and it just looks a little messy. So I don't know what I'm going to do with those. But one thing I did want to point out is that even though it would, you kind of like refrain to try to cut away some of the, because this went outside of the line, but I went ahead and cut it out. And I think sometimes those are the best pieces, the ones where you don't get all of it. Let me find a really good one. Here's one, like where you only got like half of the circle. I really like that. But yeah, I mean, I love all the different shapes and sizes, and I think I'm going to do this again. And if there's time, I'm going to do it in this video with my first choice, the one that had all the extra writing on it. Okay, and the trick is, I see a nice little line here. That might be really good for this one. Yeah, you see what I'm doing? Here's another one. So here they are all cut out. Here's the line. This is the first set I did, and this is the set I just finished. So this is the one that had very neutral background, and this one had some printing, like the postcard stuff on the background. So I did less to these than I did to these. But I was thinking that they might balance out because this already had printing on it, if you catch my drift. But I'm not sure which I like better. These look less busy. I'm gonna say that right off the bat. But depending on what I'm working on, these might work better because they need more noise in the background. But to be honest, if I were at the store and buying either of these sets, I'd go for this set. So, depending on how you like to do things, if you want to start with a good base, which is what I'd call this one, and just do a little stamping, then do this. Or if you want to start pretty much from scratch and just have a colored background, and then just go all out with your stamping. But I like them all. I'm actually just going to mix them up and use them all together. I tried to do the color scheme about the same, so they're all pinky. I might make some more of these with different backgrounds, but I just wanted to do a comparison of the two because these are the ones I really wanted to do, but I had not done this before, so I tried with these before I did these. And I'm pleased with all of them, except for this stamp. I'm not happy with that. So I won't be using those for this anymore. Okay, so what if you have a page that has everything on it? You don't need to do anything to it. You just need to make it into little card forms. So this is going to be the easiest one I've done. I'm just going to take my squares and circles and find areas on this page that look like they'll fit. For what I like this area right here. Yeah. So here they are all cut out, and they make just nice little accent pieces. I really like them. So this I'm really like, because I've always wondered this specific page. I'm like, that's an amazing page, but I don't know what to do with it. It was like overwhelming. But when you just section out little pieces with these stamps, then you can pull parts of it out that you probably wouldn't have ever thought to put them together that way. But I think I said like this, just this piece of the flower. I love that. I mean, and this actually looks like somebody just did a bunch of writing on a notebook page. So, and the little trees. I love every single one of these. I think they're amazing. And then over here are all the pieces that I cut out that I didn't have stamped. So I even had this large of a piece that I didn't have stamped. So I can draw just lines around that, and that would be its own card. And then these really tiny pieces, I found a really tiny one, I would have just thrown away. But then I remembered I have things like this. Sorry for my yucky fingers. So I made one. You know, I can't even find it right now, so I'll just, oh, there it is. So I just drew lines around that one and did some scribbles on it. I don't know if you can see that. And that will be a nice little piece that I'll just throw in my little bag along with these things. I didn't make that, obviously. It was just an example. Because you don't realize how often you need something this small. And you do. And I'm out of all of those. That's my last one that I can find. But anyway, so that's this. That's these. And then the things I did earlier were these two sets. This is the first set I did where it was kind of not a neutral, but a fairly neutral background. There was mostly pattern with a little bit of scribbling on it. And so I did a lot of stamping to it. And then this one over here was the one that had the postage stamps on it, like postage and writing and all that stuff. And so I didn't do as much to these because it already had that in the background. So I didn't do as much on them. And I really like both of these sets. These are much louder than these, or these are much softer. And so I kind of like these better. These also I think will have a purpose. The only thing I really don't like in everything that I did today are these stamps right here. And it's not that this is a bad stamp, but I tried cutting closer than that, and no matter how close you get, it just doesn't look good. So I think if I ever use this stamp, it's just gonna have to be on the actual paper, full page itself, and not to ever be cut out, because I'm not a fan of that. But everything else, even these, I think I can find a use for. So I'm very pleased. So this is with a somewhat neutral background, a bit of a background, and if you don't want to do any stamping at all, find a background page that has a lot of work on it, already done on it, and do this. And you don't even need stamps. You can just take a ruler and a marker. Make sure it's an archival for if you use it in anything else you do with mixed media, and just have fun with it. So I really liked this project. It was a really fun project today. Hope you enjoyed it too. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.